Namaskar, everyone. Welcome back to our afternoon session. We're looking forward to a very exciting conversation in our study groups. So, just a reminder for the morning, from the morning, that we're continuing to discuss the idea of spaces, co-creating spaces of light. So the idea is, what vision for spaces of light did this morning's discussion inspire within you? How can we support and sustain centers of light, whether they be virtual centers, in-person centers around us, or supporting from our very own home? And how does that support, in turn, our transformation and our own spiritual aspirations? So that's the excitement. Guru, would you like to add?
Yeah, and what came to me, namaskar everyone, welcome to the afternoon session. What came to me during the break is that we have three major consideration or themes that we can gather around. And so we need the facilitators to decide which one they will discuss. And that's how I think people will gravitate to them, right? So the three themes that I came up with is, one, those of us who are more focused on self-transformation. We are focused on transforming ourselves, lighting up our own light. We don't feel a purpose yet to want to spread the light anywhere, or want to create a center. So the first one is those who want to do personal sadhana, knowing that it will have an impact in the home, it will have an impact in the workplace. So it's like being the change, not asking anyone to change, but learning how to be the change and to see its impact. And those who are already on that path of sadhana, being the change, but not asking anyone to change, and seeing it impacting the environment. So that's one of the themes. So we can choose after. The second one is those who are focused on transmitting the light. They feel so much joy within and fulfillment in sharing it with others. So it might be a virtual group, it might be with friends, it might be at the workplace, it can be anywhere. So it's not a center of light, it's just about sharing your knowledge and wisdom with those around you. And so that's one, that spreading the light around. And the third one is those who are interested in what it takes to develop a center of light, to have a place, a physical place, in our country, or wherever it might be, and how do we attract that? How do we energize that? How do we sustain that? That's the third conversation. So all those of you who are listening are free to join any one of these three themes. So again, one of the themes is the self-transformation, have its impact and the surrounding, asking no one to change. You're not trying to change anyone, but you want to be the change. So the joy of being the change, the challenges of being the change, and the joy of seeing it, the impact that it has on the environment around without asking anyone to do anything. What are the mechanics involved? How can we fine-tune that? How we can sharpen our skills in doing that? That's one conversation. The second one is about spreading it in the spaces we occupy. We don't need a place for that. We can do it virtually, we can do it with friends, but in any meeting that we are having, any social event, anything that we are doing, we want to gather people and bring them into a synergy. We want to influence them. So that's the second one. And the third one is, how do we attract and create a center of light, an actual physical center? How do we sustain it? And how do we make it grow?
Should we on Zoom open 3 different rooms, or would you like the facilitators to choose?
Yeah. When people know. So first, we need to know what the facilitators, which one they would like to discuss.
Great.
So you can openly ask which one out of the 3 topics they would like to discuss, and that's how people will gather around them.
Great.
So we can then mention their name.
Okay, so let's go to the facilitators then. We'll start with Dr. Diani, who is going to offer a Romanian group, but who can offer in both Romanian and English. Which one would you like to do?
Daniji, which one would you like to, which one of the topics you want to choose? We can't hear you, so I think the group is trying to pin you, the AV. Right. We can't hear you. We need unmuting on our side or your side.
Oh.
Right, got it.
My mic is muted. My mic is
No,
unmuted.
no, we are good, we are good. Which one of these
Okay.
topics would you choose?
I find myself in every one of these.
No, you need to choose one.
Okay, so I choose community.
Sharing with the community.
That's the
Sharing the light with community. How do we do that better and better? Okay.
And
Yeah, good. Yeah, who's the other facilitator?
Ramana has let us know that they'll do the third one, those who are interested in developing a center of
Right,
light.
so Ramana would focus on how do you attract a physical center, how do you transform it, how do you sustain it, and how do you let it grow.
Okay, let's go to Radhaji.
And Radhaji, yeah, so Radhaji will focus on that, Ramanaji will focus on that. Who again we have?
We have Madhavi.
Madhavi. Madhavi, which one do you choose? She's not tapped in yet?
She might not be in yet, so let's go to Suravi.
All right. But I think Madhavi will focus on the second one, spreading the
Spreading light.
light. Yeah. So Rafi, which one do you focus on? Let's pin her. Yeah, which one do you?
I'd like to focus on number 3,
Right.
attracting and developing a center.
Fantastic. All right. So that makes it 3 in that category.
Yep, and Jaya Devi's also chosen 3. So would we like to ask Jaya Devi to choose another one?
All right. So we have 3. You want to summarize?
Yes, so we have Jaya Devi is going to do the third theme, but she'll do it in Dutch. That's those who are interested in centers of light. Suravi will do centers of light as well, and Ramana will do centers of light. And then Dayani will do focusing on community, and Madhavi will do focusing on community as well.
Right, spreading in light. So, okay. So those are all the facilitators we have.
Those are all the facilitators that we have.
All right.
And
Yeah.
then in the hall here, what would
Yeah. Dr. Dayani wants to speak. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you wanted to speak?
Yes, I want to speak because I want to involve in making a community. I am feeling this, so I want also to be involved in the community.
You mean attracting a physical
community
center?
in the center, creating a center. Yes, the center, to create a center of light.
Right.
Because I think that they are both so together.
All right, so
yes?
right, okay, yeah, sure. So that's 4. So this Madhavi will do the other one.
Madhavi will do this, will do the theme 2.
Right. So you'll have to inform Madhavi because I don't see her one.
I will inform her.
Right.
I will let her know.
All right, so we do the breakout groups?
Yeah, Ajaya will launch her, the AV team will launch our breakout rooms now, so go ahead and join accordingly. Grew in the temple. what would
Just to say, what would our group here do? Which one would you focus on?
I can do either any one, so what would you like?
No, but if you're going to do all 3, it wouldn't have time to do all 3.
Why don't we
So
do
choose one and you could add the others to that. But you
Yes.
need to choose one.
Why don't we do the second one, because it relates to both the first and the third. So we'll discuss as well transferring our light wherever
Which one-
we
which
are.
one- which
2,
one?
The second one.
Right, okay. So I just want to say that the second one about spreading the light is what we'll do in the local group here. And we want to make the Zoom part of the local group as well. So those of you who want to join the local group can also do so, right? We'll have a screen, and those of you on Zoom who want to stay with the local group can do so. Yeah?
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, so we can break out now. Pardon me? Yeah, we focus on that. But if the conversation then leads to the third one, let it. But we need to have one stable one. It can go on any other one, but we need to have one stable one that we're holding as a theme of our conversation. So which one do you think? We already have here at the local one, we already have a center of light. So then how do we energize this center? which means how do we focus on, when we are in an ashram, how do we focus on sustaining it, growing it, being transformed by it? That is what the local group will have to focus on.
Yeah. And Arti, we'll touch on themes of the first and the second as well.
Yeah, the second implies the first. Right? All right. So shall we break out? The AV team will be good for the local group? Right, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we will see everybody we'll give 45 minutes. We'll see everybody at 3 o'clock return.
All right.
Yeah? Okay. All right, everyone, have a great conversation.
At what time?
3 p.m. It's 2:50.
Yeah, sure. 3 p.m., yeah.
Is Madhavi on? No, Madhavi's not on. I wonder if she's having trouble connecting. Let me call Madhavi.
Yeah. If you just check me out, and I'll give you the password if she doesn't have it.
She's not responding to the messages. they can, but Guru will let them know. He'll let them know, right? All right, everyone. This is going to be interesting, doing it both online and or catering to those who are joining us online and who are here, but we'll do our very best. So just bear with us, right? In the meantime, let's take a quick moment to come into the same flow of togetherness, right? Yesterday we had a beautiful feeling of unity and holding one another. So let's try to come back there again, right? Let's take a moment to close our eyes. And keeping in mind our folks who are joining online as well. And let's just come into the here and now, letting go of any of the stresses of the day so far. And let's let the breath take us to a space of unity. Let's come to the heart. And let's find each other there. We exist in a field of oneness. We exist in a field of light. We're here with the field of the Master. And with that feeling of lightness and togetherness, let's take the time to breathe into the belly, energizing the body, that we may be filled with vitality, that our conversation today might be filled with love, unity, and vitality. And we call on the divine to support our intention, that may this sacred conversation meet the needs of every one of us in the room or joining online. Let us remember that the voice of the divine can speak at any moment. We all carry that power of the Guru principle within us. And with that intention, we'll open our conversation today with the sacred sound of Om, exhaling completely. Shh. Inhaling deeply. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. It's so sweet to feel the vibrance of one another. So we're discussing topic number 2. Let's just focus on here and now, and they will sort out what's going on. We're discussing the idea of sharing light where we are, right where we are. In Trinidad here, of course, we're lucky to have a center of light that we can support. And so the morning inspiration, let's talk about what inspired us about the morning, what inspires us about sharing our light, about being that light, and then sharing that light. And how can we use that to support this space if that's what we're passionate about? So let's remember to let the self guide. As you feel moved to speak, please speak. As you feel moved to put up your hand online, please do so. And we'll ask the AV team to unmute you. I am curious, what inspired you from this morning? What has lit the fire in you from this morning's conversation so far? Thank you.
Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar, everyone online. Nice to have you here. Lovely seeing all these faces.
Can you speak Louder, please.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
I will. What really got me was the answer that Haridas got. How do you create a space that will sustain that? Where is it? Sorry?
There, go ahead.
Oh, it's you. It's you.
It might be me.
That to create a space that will sustain that people keep on coming and will want to come. And that Guruji answers, ensure you do the sadhana in the space and be humble and that the light within you will awaken the light of others. So that was really, really good. And to invoke the masters. I mean, who else is there? The
Put it up.
well, near the mouth. Thank you. Okay, so invoking the masters in whatever we do and not let the ego jump ahead. Yeah, being humble, doing the sadhana. Thank you.
Namaskar everyone, and namaskar everyone on the Zoom. Thank you, Hridaya, for bringing that again, because I control myself not to burst with enthusiasm, because I felt that already inside. Guruji vocalized what I already felt, but I didn't know how to put it into words. I felt in the last period of my life that for me, the most powerful way to be a channel in touching people's lives is to bring the people in the space of my sadhana. In the physical space where I keep my sadhana, in a humble way, inviting the masters, I knew that that is the most powerful way because I go from spaces to spaces, teaching yoga, doing therapies, and I co-create there the space. But it's never as powerful as my sadhana space. So I was always thinking, but didn't have the courage, perhaps, or the time was not there, okay, how I can do it, because this brings me fulfillment when it happens. So now Guruji vocalized it, and I feel overwhelmed with joy, because I feel that something shifted inside of me, is the divine timing for me to do that. And yeah, I just wanted to share this joy with you.
So Haridas, so you spoke about, so I understand wanting to attract people through your sadhana, but what is your desire, and how is your desire grounded in humility?
I don't think I understand totally.
And I'm wondering if somebody else can help me vocalize this, but because Guru spoke so deeply about humility in his response to you, and that was really beautiful.
When you surrender yourself to the masters,
Right.
when I surrender myself to the sadhana and to the energy of the masters, I didn't even need to think about humility, because I'm just going with the flow. I'm not there in a way. I'm just letting their power to flow in the space. And I saw that so many times in the last period of my life, in my yoga classes, in my therapies. Each time I can say there was magic in the space, I was not there. Each time there was good, but was not that magic in the space, I was also there, yeah, but it's in a way of speaking.
But a clarified ego, I understand, an ego aligned with the divine.
Yeah.
But let me ask you in a different way then, is your desire, when sharing your sadhana, is your desire to attract people to your space?
I don't know why exactly, but when I see a person that I work with, even if I do a therapy and I see the person fulfilled, touched, uplifted, it creates such a joy in me and such upliftment. I think it's part of my own growth. That, yeah, I don't have an explanation exactly, but yeah.
Okay. Because one of the things that it stirred in me when I heard Guru say humility is that our desire, when we're sharing our light with others, cannot be, or could it be, I want to share my light with you, versus in this moment, can I just be an instrument of the divine? And whatever happens, happens. Whether you come into my space, whether or not a center is created, whether or not a community is built, but rather can I be in my best sadhana? Can I be my light and be an instrument of the divine so completely and humbly, and then allow the next steps to flow with a willingness to be in community? Is that what humility could look like, along with our desire?
Yeah, for sure. And I just share with you because it was related with something that I shared. Guruji's response was related to something that I shared with him in a message a few weeks ago that he didn't respond to. And my message was in a very humble way, but I was a little bit worried in a certain period a few weeks ago. Guruji, I said, Guruji, how I can attract more people in what I do, in the yoga classes, and he said today about that little shift and difference between thinking how can I attract more people based on the law of attraction, instead of being caught in that, how can I be focused on the divine and on my own sadhana, and then the right people will come, right?
Yep.
This is.
But it's also holding that inherent desire. Our base desire is not necessarily to teach people. It is to be the best instrument.
Right.
And that's how
Yeah.
we make the
Yes.
shift into that space of humility, right?
Yeah. Thank you for that. I think that's the reference point that I
Yeah.
always need to have in front of my eyes, to show me where am I, like what is the reference point I want to, teach people, or I just want to shift to my own alignment.
And then whether you do that publicly, whether you do that privately,
it doesn't matter.
however it happens.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
What do we think? Go ahead.
I enjoy the flow of conversation because it's such it's like two coins, depending what part you turn them on, right? So it's like Icha Shakti and the Kriya Shakti, like the will and the action and the knowledge, right? Depending what aspects of your energy impulse you act upon in that moment, because the humility should always, of course, be there, but in the same time, you have to act upon, not only just wait. So it's so subtle, but always, I think, like in Karma Yoga. In Karma Yoga, we do acts without waiting for the results or for any compensation. So we act, and whatever it happens, it's based on the universal laws or of how it happens. We're not expecting anything. We just know that we have to act. We are impulsed by that. So with this spreading the light, I think it's kind of similar, because sometimes I was just cutting that impulse through my mind, saying, maybe I should focus more on my sadhana and grow deeper and deeper and deeper until I'll be so close to that light to be able to spread the light. But I think it's the time for all of us to, however, wherever we are in the consciousness in that moment, if we feel impulse, if you feel joy to serve, and we know that we can spread the light, to take courage and somehow act. But that humility, of course, and not expecting the results should always be there. So going deeper, looking deeper inside, from what aspect of myself I'm wanting to act in this moment, from a lack of self-confidence, desire for being somebody, to be appreciated, or do we genuinely act because we know the whole world needs our light? I feel more and more impulsed by that, just because I see how the universe is sending all of us to support in smaller quantities, in bigger quantities. So that's what I wanted to say. It's a very subtle aspect, and we'll always have to look upon the ego there. Yeah.
Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar online. And I really connect with what Shreya said, that I constantly work on myself to be the very best that I can be. And when Guruji was talking about the three areas that we should discuss, it brought to mind a saying, if there's righteousness in the heart, there'll be beauty in the character. When there's beauty in the character, there'll be harmony in the home. When there's harmony in the home, there'll be order in the nation. When there's order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. So it really begins with each and every one of us. So from my perspective, I constantly, daily work on myself to be the change, walk the talk, embody the... And, as you said, align my ego will with the divine will, and let the divine then guide what I have to do every day. So with every interaction, the person that I meet or I sit next to having lunch, the person that I interact with work, once I align myself with the divine will, then I know that this is divinely inspired. And then, as Guruji said, in that conversation, in that interaction, strive to leave it better than I met it. So it may involve just listening and knowing when to talk, and while doing that, being centered in who I am, living in the present moment, giving attention to the now, but always trying to converse or have the awareness that I am divine, and perform the action or the conversation from that level. So there's energy flowing from myself to the other person. And sometimes one's character is such that you may not have to speak. Your very energy and vibration can bring about harmony and cause changes to take place. So when we focus on ourselves first, in fact, if you don't awaken the divine love, you can't give it. So first be the change, and then allow the divine to guide who you come into contact with. And I think that is one of the greatest savor. And also, I firmly believe that one of the greatest messages, and Guruji has said it so much, is love. If we can awaken that spring of love in our hearts, and then let the love flow in good thoughts, good words, good deeds, and wherever we interact with, we can truly make a difference. Namaskar.
Thank you so much.
Another aspect, it's sometimes we look for the numbers. And here Guruji, a Sadguru, can have 2 or 3 disciples in the space and do the same service with the same power, the same joy, the same humility as he does with hundreds of people or less people. And that inspires me so much, because we are so accustomed to think of numbers and want quantity. But the whole idea, it's also about quality, and just see the connection of the divine there. If two of us are in the space, there I am. So it doesn't need necessarily many more. It's just two to start and initiate something. And I think that can give courage for us to start with anyone, even the families or the friends or in the jobs, and see how the divine encourages that afterwards. Because if the divine encourages, then it can add more. It can add more always. It's for us. It's just to act upon. Your duty is to act, not to the result. So just act. Have courage. I many times I was holding back just because I was thinking, I'm not ready. I'm not like Guru. What can I share? I don't have the same power. So I hold back. But I think I'll take courage from now on, just to see what's happening in the space wherever I go, especially when I travel. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add to this.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Namaskar. It's a lovely subject. Actually, when you meet the Guru, when Guru comes in our life, he gives us his light. So we all...
Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's like mala, you know, the beads of a mala. We all connected. Even if we are aware, even if we are not aware, even if we grow in consciousness and awareness, to know that that love is in us and has to grow. And we are little stars sparkling wherever we are. So as Guru said, it's not that we are, we have to uncover what we really are. And he is the perfect divine instrument coming in our life that we can avail of it. I remember once Guru said, I am here for you, use me. Use me. Isn't that so beautiful? What more could you say? The source of light is right here. Do we have the eyes to see? Do we have the heart to feel? Do we have at least the will to discover who we are through him? This is the greatest gift that humanity can get. And I think we portray this love, that it is in our Guru, and we can all spread that love. Of course, it's a matter of maintaining, of going in the life and fight the challenges that are coming to us. But Guru always said, if you do the sadhana and if you respect the discipline, the divine is always with you. In the moment we get disconnected, no, we're not aligned. But we're not losing the light. The light is there all the time. We're spreading the light, doesn't matter where we are.
Thank you, Atreyu.
Thank
I
you.
want to remind anyone online as well in our virtual space, if you have any contribution, feel free to raise your hand and we will we'll take you. We'll go to Haridas and then we'll go to Charles.
Trace, thank you for bringing the Guru into the spot, because in a moment just came in my mind something that I think is very important, because we speak about co-creating spaces of the light, I say it with humility. I observe in the domain that I used to work, like with yoga, for example. People are coming to me, new people. They are saying that, oh, I went there and I went there, I went there. Why is your yoga class? There is something that is special, touched me in a very special and profound way. What is it? And I observe, and Guruji mentioned also, that the other colleagues of mine, they may be even more prepared than me technically, speaking, but they don't have a master in their life and the path, a real path. And I realized many times, not only once, that not because of my preparation, they may be more prepared than me, but I have the honor and the grace to channel Guruji's path and the Siddha path. And this is what people are feeling. And this is amazing in co-creating spaces of light. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Okay, let's go to Charles.
Namaskar, everyone.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Haridas, for this nice insight.
Okay.
Fatma, you should. Okay. Am I still? Am I still?
Yep, you're still on. We can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Your insight is so nice, and what I would, when you were talking to Guruji earlier today, he was talking about the instrument, and just before I felt the same. I am a channel. I'm an instrument to spread the light. What Atri said just before about, I feel the same. How grateful we can be about the presence of Guruji. I was so inspired by the 40 days. It gave me a new shift, and I'm very happy that we can have these weekly sessions with Madhavi, and also in the Netherlands with Jaya Devi. My personal challenge is that I would like to spread my own insights and light, and being an example. That's not so difficult. But when people are asking me difficult questions or doubting about what I felt, what I feel, or what my experiences are, then I immediately get back and I feel how do you say that in a good word, like disappointed, and I stop. So my challenge is to be more self-confident and
Yes.
Be able to talk and to show. These days are very inspiring for me to make this new step. So that's what I appreciate very much. I'm very thankful for that, very grateful for these days we have now in this week.
Thank you so much,
Good.
Charles. I wanted to raise that point, and then you said it. So I'm really grateful, because the next thing that I was going to ask the group is, do you need to be perfectly enlightened in order to share your light with community? And if we don't, you would like to be. Hridaya says she would like to be. We would all like to be. But can we start right from where we are? And what does that mean, and what does that look like? When a question comes up in this space that we can't answer, what do we do? What can we do? What suggestion can we offer? Go ahead, Arti.
Namaskar. This is not really answering your question,
okay.
Shreya. I just wanted to, when Charles was sharing, it brought up something in me. And I think somebody mentioned this yesterday. I can't remember who it was. When I first met Guru, of course, it might have been Charles actually, I can't remember. When I first met Guru, I was very, very excited about what I was learning. And the new possibilities that it opened up for me, which were like completely different, polar opposite to what I was doing before I met Guru. And I was very excited, and I wanted to tell everybody about it. But of course, at that point, I was sharing intellectual information that I didn't really understand properly, and I didn't have any experience of. So I learned the hard way very quickly, maybe not that quickly actually, but I learned the hard way to be the need for discernment in what I was sharing and who I was sharing with. And I remember Guru talking about coming back after, well, re-engaging with the world after the 40 days. And, you know, the family telling him, okay, you know, like, you need to stop talking about this because people are going to think you're crazy. So, like, I was just thinking, you know, I just spent like a year, nearly a year and a half in London. I worked with the same people for the whole time I was there. And you know, not one of them knew about what I would call my secret life. So I think there might be a verse in the Guru Gita towards the end where like Shiva is saying, you know, be careful who you impart this knowledge to. Don't share it with anybody. And not that I'm trying to be judgmental about people who are not on the conscious path, but it's like pearls before swine. You're trying to share with people what seems obvious to us because we understand the excitement of it, the value of it, and how it's changed our lives. But these days, like people, even people who are close to me, I share even less with them because it's just safer. It's just safer that way. And sometimes it does feel a little bit lonely, but then I just think, you know, I have Blue Star, I have my Blue Star family.
I have my community.
So I'm also a bit like Faiz, I think very focused on myself and my transformation, trying my best at that. And if people are inspired by that, then that's icing on the cake. But what anybody takes from me or not, it has nothing to do with me. So I'm done trying to change anybody. It's just much safer.
Absolutely. And one thing I do want to pick up on though is there is a way when we do have willing people who want to explore together. And that is the concept and the idea that we are explorers together. I'm not teaching, I'm not leading, even though I might bring a group of people together. Like in this setting itself, I'm not teaching, I'm not leading, I'm a timekeeper, and I'm making sure that everybody gets time on the microphone. That's it. Other than that, it's bringing out the best in each other. So when questions come up and somebody asks a question into the space, we don't have all the answers because we're not the guru. But what we can do is explore the idea or explore the response together and then say, let's meditate on this more and see if answers come up. And so that's one way to answer Charles's question. But I think having that discernment to know when and with whom to share and with whom not to becomes very important because you'll see it, the results of it.
Yeah, and I think just again, coming back to, not that I'm answering you, Charles,
Yeah.
it's just what's inspired in me. I remember what Madhavi shared in the conversation yesterday that, you know, there's ways to share our light without talking about light. You know, so the language that we use and how we can meet people where they are in an appropriate way rather than trying to stress them out with all of these ideas about awakening and kundalini and whatever it is. You know, we can share in a language appropriate way.
I love that. Absolutely sharing in a language appropriate way. Can you just turn that around? Thanks. Just before you go, I'm just going to ask if anyone who hasn't had a chance to speak yet would like to. And that goes for those online as well. Thank you.
Namaskar. I will bring up something that people wants to have meditation with me, and I don't. I feel no flow. I feel no go in. I don't feel, and I really don't know what to do with it.
What do we think? Does anybody online or in the room have a similar experience? About being pushed sometimes to and asked, can you lead? Can you share this with me? Can you teach? Can you offer a class? And not feeling ready yet. Is that okay? Go ahead. Thanks, Bridget. Nice to see you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So I was having trouble with my new Chromebook that I just don't know how to navigate. But I would be here in person. It's just that I'm in the middle of a moving from my apartment this week and next week. I was just picking up what I understood, and I'm not sure what her name is, the last speaker. Was saying. I'm not sure if I got what she was saying, but how I relate is that I have felt a soul call to be here, in spite of the fact that I'm now moving apartment, and I am now far away from Blue Star physically. And I am feeling some sort of inner guidance that something is happening, something is coming, changing, because a lot of things have changed in my life and suddenly left, and I've had to give up things. But I don't know what it is. So I have no idea where I'm going, except that I know my connection with Guru, and that has, even though I have not always been fully there, I know Guru once said, when I said I'm eternally grateful, he said, it is eternal. I know I am connected, and I do feel that, I feel that this is my soul family, and life has taken me in many different journeys. I've done all kinds of detours and learning, and because I wanted to bring it together, sort of a very broad comprehension on the mental level,
Yes.
So I am coming more back into heart center.
Beautiful.
And not that I've been doing so much sadhana, but I'm doing sadhana in the world.
Amazing. And that's what we spoke
I'm
about in
doing
the last
it
few
hard.
days.
I'm doing it the real day-to-day sadhana. And there was a phase of life where I did all the yoga. I loved it. I felt the power of Guru in me when I was teaching the yoga. And I did massage, and I was right in that sphere of healing. And I'm not sure where I can be used, but it's not for me to say if there's anything I can do. It's the universe. It's the universe that's going to have to show me, because I don't know.
That's it. And that's the connection between what you're saying and what Sundari, her experience, is it's up to the universe and the divine to guide when you feel ready to teach. If you're not called to teach, if Kundalini's telling you you're not ready yet, listen. And when you do feel called to serve, listen to that too, because that's how we create communities.
I did give meditation lessons, and then there were 2 hours and it was full. But then came Corona, and then I quit because of reasons. And then I needed to be in the woods. So I started a group go in the woods with me, and I will spiritual tappings or breathings or kind of meditations. But there are a few people too, actually, are still waiting for me to go.
Well, when the time is right, I'm sure
And-
you'll let them know.
But they want more insight, so
And that's
other
okay.
people. And it's to I feel the obligation to have to, but yeah, that.
You're welcome. And that brings up a good point, is it okay to move between 1, 2, and 3? Is it okay to move between some moments feeling like I just want to study myself, to moments when I want to share and I'm going to get people together, or I'm going to write a blog, I'm going to write a message and post it on Instagram about my thoughts? There are different ways to do it, right? Different ways to share with community. Or do I want to go and visit and support a center and take a leadership role in a center near me, or bring people together in a stronger way, right? We don't have to be one and only one. And so we can definitely shift between. I want to take the conversation now, just because we're all here at the ashram and Guru had asked us to speak about supporting the local center here and what that might look like as beings who live here or don't live here. How can we best support this center of light? What does that mean for us? What does that look like for us? And I open that up to online as well. And anyone there who might join who has a strong connection with the ashram here. Go ahead, Haridas. Before Haridas goes, would anybody who hasn't had the chance to speak today like to go? Okay. Go ahead.
My only answer is that when Guruji gave me the name in front of the garbage bins upstairs, and
However
was,
it happens, it happens.
that was also like a symbolism, because the garbage means in the tradition of Shaktipat, when the master is initiating you, it's a symbolism that you need to shed your old self. And I was close to the garbage bins.
That's funny.
And he's such a master that he doesn't need the, he said, I can call you in my office, you remember, upstairs, or I can do it here, and I was close to the garbage bin, close to me. But he said to me, and I will never forget, he told me, I give you the name Haridas. Das means you serve the divine, you serve the Guru. But the greatest service that you can do for the Guru is to live in his consciousness. And what I take from that is being in the ashram, and as much as I can, if I can align with the teachings, and during the sitting practices and during the interactions here and the seva and everything, then I can contribute in the best possible way to the energy of the ashram by being as close as I can to the divine self.
It's beautiful.
Inside. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think for this space particularly, how we can support, not to depend so much on Guruji again and again, to inspire us or those around us for anything practical or more higher spirit reminders. Just be the light here, and then inspire the others with your light. And same principles of unconditional love, non-judgmental, carry peace in your field. So especially when the visitors are coming, they are impacted by the field and by those that are living here. And if we are that example of light and stability and love and kindness and generosity, then we are serving in the best way. So for us, it's a higher responsibility, I consider it, because we are living with the Guru for so many years, and not that we should be in a particular way. It's not putting that kind of heavy stamp on ourselves, but do the effort in every single moment to be at the highest point that you are. Because also the ashram can be like a home sometimes for us, and we can feel lapses of moments when we just relax in the field, but we always should carry that responsibility. Wherever we meet, let's meet it from the same field as Guruji would meet that person in his abode here, in his space here. And I have seen during the years people coming and going and somehow following a bit of different rules than the ashrams in the inner space, and just the energy not holding, not supporting. And for me, it was always a reminder, be very careful, even in the subtle space of the mind, of your intentions, what you carry when you are in a such energized field of the Guru, because it's just a matter of time, always. So that's I think these reminders for us should always be there.
That's really beautiful, Krishna Priya. Thank you so much. I think it looks like folks are starting to come back in now. I'm just going to check with our AV team to see if it's time to wrap up. It's time to wrap up. All right, everyone. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you, our online group, for joining. Thank you, Charles, for your beautiful online sharing as well. And let's get back into the room and hear the wonderful insight that I'm sure would have come from all of the groups. So keep shining your light, keep growing your light, everyone. Okay, namaskar. Okay, let's do a reset of the chairs.
Namaskar, everyone. welcome back. I'm curious. I'm eager to hear your conversations and how it went. Let me take Surabhi first, so she can give me an idea, because you chose centers of light, co-creating. So how did that go?
Namaskar. There were, I think, 6 or 7 of us discussing, and we came from different countries, from Ireland and Canada and the Netherlands. And it was interesting because we were all seeing the progression of the transformation, the self-transformation that you do need to come from a pure space of growth and being transformed. It can't be just because you want the prestige of having a center or something like that, right? So we were all seeing that, and we were all seeing the need for involving community and what that looks like, and how virtual spaces have a place and physical spaces have also a space, and that they're both very important. We saw the advantages of having a physical space to have the means of the guru and the space for that transformation of souls who are ready for that. So we saw all of it as important. And we ended up with, okay, so some of us have tried this in the past. What's different now? And what we realized is holding a vision, the more transformed you are, the more you can hold it in the light, in humility, and surrender to the bigger part of us, the self. So like we don't have fixed ideas, but we want something to manifest that will serve in the perfect way, the universe really, to manifest the light in the perfect way. And then we also drilled down a little bit and talked about how we've manifested in the past. And to do that, I know in the past I've used the soul powers without realizing I was using the soul powers of intention setting, gathering information, and taking action and seeing what's supported. So we talked a little bit about that. And yeah, so it was a very exciting discussion. Some of us didn't realize that it was exciting, but the more we talked about it, the more excited it became. And yeah, I enjoyed the discussion. We even left saying that maybe we'll have, because it was nice to have the international flavor to the brainstorming and sharing ideas. We thought that we could continue that for a bit as we each, whichever country we're in, we just share and interact and say what's happening and share ideas and information together. So that's kind of where we left it. But all in all, yeah, I think from the first time I was trying to manifest a center with others, I think we're in a different space now. We're more coming from a deeper space, and I could see how, if the universe supports it, how it can happen. It's how it works and how it is. Anyway, namaskar. Yeah. That's what I wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you, Surabhi. Appreciate that. Yeah. Let's take Ramanaji. No, I'm just listening, and then of course I'll add my piece at the end of the listening. So, Ramanaji, yeah. How did your conversation go?
Like Surabhi, very much. We had a couple of Europeans and Canadians, and the talk. It was so much excitement from your talk this morning that everyone was so, they come with their dreams and visions based on your talk, especially that talk you had with Haridas. It seems to resonate with everyone about being that block, and being humble. So it was just fascinating to hear from everyone, and it was, that they come with so many different ideas, their dreams more important, and I think it's reaching, what's exciting here is we're reaching a point in Blue Star here, where with this conference and everything else, that it's a whole mushrooming again of energy, and the energy is collective in a sense. There was even talk within from the Europeans, Romania and Holland, of merging groups together and supporting each other, or building, I should say, building centers with powerful souls that come together and have that synergy of collective energy. So that was great, and just listening to everyone, there was a young lady there with so much passion and being a young CEO in her company, and she will share with you, but she comes up with so much new possibilities that it's opening up the space more and more, even based on even our own on my own and Bhavani's own experience is new. It's bringing a newness in all this. So I see this surge of energy, Guru. It's just surging, and it's at this level now we can have powerful centers. I see it, Guru. And I love it.
All right. Thank you, Ramana. Thank you, Ramana. Yeah. Thank you so much. Dr. Oluka, Dayaniji?
Namaskar everyone, Namaskar Guruji. So we were 7 Romanians, 6, 7, 8 Romanians in the group, and as you know, we started to talk about the center. We want this center for many years, and we know that it is in the universe. It is already the center for the light center for Romania. It is our will which we will bring in reality, in materiality. So we started that we want to be together and put the intention very clearly to manifest this center of light. And we said that every day after Guru Gita we will pray for this center to become alive and to be open to the community, because we want to be, how do we sustain this? We discuss about how can we attract this center of light, and just I share to you what we are going to do to keep him alive, to keep it alive in our mind, in our soul, in our enlightened soul, yes, full of light. And then we discuss about how can we sustain, about sustaining the center. And we thought that the main thing is discipline, the spiritual discipline, first of all, and then of course coming together. And we discuss also about having both the physical center and also the possibility for the people to come on Zoom to this center. The people that are not in Bucharest, for example, they are hundreds of kilometers apart, but to be part of the center and come to this center. And the people who can live there and to sustain everyday discipline is very important. And how can we energize the center also? We discuss a little bit. So the focus is on attracting, first of all, this center who already exists in the plane of the universe, and with your energy and your will, it is there and we will have it. So we want it, and we will express is every day after Guru Gita, we will put in mind this intention and we will express it. And then we will see what the universe will bring us. We are open to all the possibilities, and we stay aligned with the will of the universe.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dayaniji. Jayadevi.
Namaskar, Guruji. Namaskar all. We had a beautiful, inspiring session with 7 of us, and we all feel the desire to build to the future for making more centers, little centers of light. But also we feel that there is perhaps the need for one physical center also, but we can also use centers who are already there. And we had several ideas about having more satsangs in a regular scheme, making workshops for sharing our inspiration. There is Guru Gita streaming every morning already, but perhaps there are little groups, study groups or whatever, healing groups that need some advice how to do it or support when someone wants to start an activity, to help each other and to support each other with it and to use each other's qualities. There are a lot of qualities in the community and with younger people also, and we are not using the younger people to take them in the community, and we need modern communication to do that also, but also the inspiration of younger people to co-create, and perhaps also co-create a future mother home or ashram like that. So the dream we have, we say we have to also talk about it in the community and to make our desire stronger and our vision stronger, in what ways we can take our inspiration into the future also, and we are depending on younger people for that. So there are many ideas. Oh, we're going to school. Someone of the group was giving meditation lessons at schools. So it's also a possibility to look for younger children who are very stressed. Some have burnouts on a young age. So we think we can give some support and inspiration for their lives, for their own development.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we just had a local group after. Radhaji. Yeah, Radhaji, do you want to say anything, because you ended up with a Ramana's group? Is there anything that you would like to say, Radhaji, about your conversation? Because you just had Dahlia.
Yeah, but we went into the group of Ramana, and explicit, based on my own excitement of today and what happened in the groups. Arpita was there, and quite very personal. I would love to be involved in the constructing of a Vrindavan Europe center, where the Romanian and the Hungarian Blue Star family can come together. This is very personal. What I from a young age, I have a Hungarian background. This is what I long for. The nature. There is.
Where do you see a European center being based?
When we went in Shinaya in the retreats, and there were the Romanian family, I felt home, the love, the unconditional love, and even when I'm speaking about it, this is what makes me come alive, to share the Ananda.
So do you feel that, since you've experienced Romania, Holland, and Hungary, do you feel that Holland is a place where a Euro center can happen? No. Or Hungary?
No. Yeah, or the Transylvanian area. This is the area between...
Because there are implications, right? Because people would need to come to the area. People need to be comfortable in the area.
Yeah. I know. So on a practical level...
But then if you have a center anywhere, the center has to be able to attract... The whole world is coming at one today. So that center must be able to attract, like we in Trinidad do. We attract people from different parts of the world. Do you think that we could develop such a center that can attract people from everywhere?
when I heard Jayadevi speak about the activities that came up in Holland, like the ashram and the discipline, as if we are on the Blue Star Center and the program is alike. What Madhava and I live now is not so much the exact same teachings as we learn on the ashram. Literally, I said to Ramana, we meet everyone where they are. So, of course, they come to this center, but Madhava is teaching veterans, is in a community where people are not so known with spirituality, and that is what we offer. The Blue Star
sure. But
principles.
Vyas was able to create a successful center. Of course, that was with my support as well, and that attracted everybody. But I'd like to stay there and come to.
Yeah.
We had Elaine. Yeah, Elaine had a different one. Elaine had spreading the light. So I'll take Elaine last. But how did yours go, Shreya?
We also spoke about that subject number 2, spreading the light, as well as how to support.
Which one dominated the conversation?
Number 2, the item 2.
Right.
So we spoke more about how to share our light from where we are. We spoke a lot about the role of humility in being able to share our light with community and doing whatever activity we are doing. We also talked about, which was really interesting, what happens when we're asked to teach, but we don't feel the pull inside to teach or share
but we don't feel the pull inside.
We don't feel the pull inside, that's right. So we talked about following Kundalini's guidance.
But wouldn't you say that if we don't feel the pull inside to teach, that we shouldn't?
That's right. So we shouldn't in that moment teach. That's where we landed, is that in that moment. And it's okay to go between the first and the second. It's okay to be in one moment of feeling inspired to teach and in another moment inspired to
I got it.
stay.
So I'll bring up it more in my conversation. So let's take Elaine. Elaine, would you speak about how your group went? I know you had to stand in for Madhavi today, and I think you would have done an excellent job in doing that.
I had a lot of fun.
That's good for starters.
Yeah, being put on the spot like this. There was 8 of us, and we had from different places, and I felt I didn't take any notes, but
no. What was the essence of the conversation? What came up that you could share with the global group?
I think we looked at our gifts. What is our gift?
Yeah,
and
good.
How do we shine that gift and sort of spread it in a small way, not in a big center kind of thing, but in
beautiful,
a small,
but excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to take this now, but let me lead this conversation. Now, would you agree that we all are living in a karmic play? And that play, in a way, defines our purpose in the lifetime. It also determines our resources that we have, the talents that we have, where we are born, so that we are held in a karmic play. Does the karmic play show our life path? That's the first question I will ask. So if you don't have enough money, is that a part of the karmic play? If you're born in poverty, is that part of the karmic play? If you're born with a lot of resources, is that part of the karmic play? If you're born with a passion to be a teacher and you stay with that passion, is that part of the karmic play? If you're born with certain talents that you become passionate about and you express them, is that part of the karmic play? Is creating a center part of the karmic play for you? How do you know if creating a center is part of the karmic play? If nothing is happening and you try to make a center happen and nothing is happening, Is that part of the karmic? Is that part of the karmic play, or do you need to force it to happen? And if you begin to start something, initialize it, and then it starts to happen, then is that part of the karmic play too? So when nothing happens, when you try and try and try again, is there a lesson in that? And when something happens when you do that, is there a lesson there as well? So when we look at what we want to achieve, do we need to give consideration to what a karmic play is, what our life purpose is, what our talents are, and how do we bring all of this together to determine a life path that can flow and be in alignment to the universe through the karmic play rather than wishful thinking? How do we create a center? Do we look to see whether a center is in our karmic plan? And if it isn't, can we be satisfied with just transforming ourselves? And if we find the passion developing in us to spread the light, do we see it as part of our life purpose as well, when passion comes up? So in the consideration of all three, do we need to look into the karmic play and what we are endowed with by the karmic play and what we feel impassioned about and see our life path in that? Because I saw no group mention the karmic play and mention the talents that we have except maybe Jayadevi. So how do we do it? For example, I had no intention of creating an ashram. I simply wanted to become free. And then this gift came into my hand. But I was still passionate about being in the world. But so I decided, okay, this is there, but I'm going to surrender to the passion of wanting to be in the world and bring spirituality into the world. So I went into the industrial world and I mastered it. But a time came when I didn't care for it anymore, because I felt that I experienced everything that I wanted to from the secular world. And then a whole desire came into me to want to bring the Blue Star alive. And when the moment I started the Blue Star, I used my funds. I used my car. I used my space. I used my living room space to start. And then people started to come. Then it started to grow. Then I got invitation. Then I went through the country, decided, let me transform this country. And so I decided to go to schools and go to every other place and have satsangs and meditation programs as I've been taught to have. And then something magic happened. People everywhere wanted to come home by me. I had a small living room. They can only hold about 15 people in there, cramped. So then resources came. Then I built a little in where of my garages now. I built a little shed there, and we started to have the ashram there. And then more and more people started to come. And then we went to the side of the house and we built a bigger ashram. I thought it was big. Then more and more people are coming and we get so cramped. And then I decided to do this. This hasn't been overcrowded yet. But this I was built for a different purpose, because you will see a partition across here. So I built it as a place of well-being, which is one of my passion. And then Vrindavan came. And then I started, my vision of creating a big center now is there, an international center. So how did it happen? I simply followed my passion, and the universe did the rest. How can we identify where our passion is and what to do? So if it's the thing that we can do is only transform ourselves because we have no other resources, but then we see the karma is telling us, I'm sending you to transform yourself. And if perhaps transforming yourself, you may attract things that happen. Or you find yourself with a passion to spread the light. And the moment you begin, people start to become attracted to you. Then you know it's your karmic purpose as well. So how much does karmic play into this? And then the other thing is, which is also karma, how does astrology play into it? Because do you know, if my Vedic astrology is exactly what my timeline is, although I never followed the Vedic. I never said, okay, I'm doing this because of the Vedic astrology. But every decision I make is shown in the chart. So it was my attunement to myself also gave me the knowledge of following my karmic path according to my astrology. So if now Ada Kush would tell you, because he did my chart, he would say that everything in Guruji's chart is exactly what he is doing. So what have you been blessed with in the karmic play? That's where you should keep your focus. What is my life purpose according to the karmic play? And don't try to jump into some other purpose that is not yours. So which one of the three is the universe blessing you with for the karmic play? So that I wish wasn't part of your discussions. Because we all want to jump into some other place, but does the karmic play allow it? Is it my life purpose? And if our purpose is not to build an ashram, but can we support one? And if our purpose is just self-transformation, can we be happy or contented with that? That is the journey to freedom. So can we look back on our past now and see, adding these new dimensions to it, what is our life purpose and how can we be aligned to it and be totally fulfilled and satisfied when we do? Because if you're following your life purpose, you will be totally satisfied by doing it, whatever it is. And if it's your passion to have a center and to create a physical place, it will stay with you. It will never leave you. Even though you don't achieve it in this life, it will happen in the next. Because to this day, if I'm doing something and it's not turning out well, I am changing direction completely. And if nothing is happening, I stay put and just enjoy where I am. It's like when night comes, right? Body's going to get tired, circadian rhythm. I can't do anything more. So I surrender to the night. Because the night has other gifts. I can nourish the body. I can have a wonderful sleep. So when things are not working out outside of me, I can retreat within and enjoy developing myself inside. And the beauty of that is that if I can touch non-local access, I can be anywhere in the world. I don't need to go to a place to be happy. Because I can just open up my space and just be totally happy. Yeah, so this is the dimension that I want you to consider. If it makes any sense to you, raise your hands, let's have a conversation, and we take Arti first. But on the contrary, if you want to make something happen, and how do we recognize how do we work with the karmic play to make it happen? If it's a strong desire in our heart, I would like to also have that conversation as well. RTG.
Namaskar, Guruji. Namaskar, everyone. Guruji, I do resonate with what you've just said. I thought that I was a little bit out of sync, but I don't feel that I am anymore. When I reflect on where I have come from in this life, what I'm doing now is so completely different to where I've come from, and also the stage from which I've come. So I think for me, I feel very strongly and quite fulfilled in the idea that my life purpose is self-transformation. However, within that, I, of course, feel very committed to the organization and to the Guru. So in my own way, I feel I do what I can to support the mission.
So can you see then that meeting Sri Vasudeva, becoming attracted to what he's doing, getting involved, seeing, feeling comfortable in it, and staying aligned to it, and learning to work with it and becoming fulfilled by it, because it is taking you into the path of self-transformation. So do you see that you are aligned to the karmic play?
Well, thank you. That's very exciting to see. Thanks, Guruji. But, I try to support how I can. But again, even in support, even in my own way of supporting, my focus in that is what I'm getting out of it,
Self-transformation.
is my own self-transformation.
Yeah,
So,
beautiful.
as you said, it begins and ends with us.
Yeah.
So that's where I am.
Fantastic, fantastic, excellent. Yeah, Akshayji, Adidev. Yes, son.
Namaskar, everyone.
Namaskar.
This is an amazing passion of mine, is something that Guru, you and I have conversed a lot about recently, which is why I felt so driven to share, is that in my life I've experienced a passion, a natural in that karmic play for science and scientific curiosity in the academic setting. And early in my high school life, I said, oh, I'll be a medical doctor, and plan out a course for that and have that strong. And then in the middle of university life, the research came into it and the teaching came into it. And all of a sudden, this became the drive. And I look back a little now, and someone asked me, a young person asked me the other day, they said, how did you get here? I said, I just simply, with guidance, I'm putting, as you say so many times, staying in the present moment and with the karmic play and what it's presenting to you. I said, all I've done is not worried, you say, with the ladder, the next rung. Just focus on that next step. And all of a sudden, you are somewhere that 10 years ago I had never imagined. And recognizing in the karmic play, though, that you are there. Your energy is there. The moment I'm in a classroom or collaborating with colleagues and teaching with students and they are teaching me, that is the Guru force there. That's the Guru Tattva there.
Absolutely.
And it comes alive. It comes alive in that. So even though from such a long time I'm physically away there from the ashram, I'm physically there away from you, but with a practice, yes, of course, but aligning and staying passionate about the karmic journey and appreciating that karmic journey can be that Guru Tattva coming back to speak to you, just as you do with us now. That's amazing. And that's the co-creative, I feel, that term is co-creative can be cooperation and collaboration, but co-creating with the universe is, I feel, when these moments come and they hit you, that's when you say, wow, I'm the instrument here. The universe is co-creating in and through me with itself, with the divine self. So I just felt it's in my heart here to share this, because it's the joy of my life so far, and the short life I've had, but it's the joy of it by far.
So what would you say? This is beautiful. I like that, to say that in the middle of what you're doing, you can see the universal play. You can see the Guru power. You can see the perfection of the moment. And you can see the fulfillment that you are experiencing just by following the one rung on the ladder. What would you say then is your life purpose? Or is your life purpose found in every moment?
Oh, the life purpose has to be in the present. I learned the lesson that you can't say life purpose is all the way down there and I'll get to it. It's, if you fulfill it at each point, the life purpose it'll reveal itself.
So would you say then that is living the moment fully and masterfully?
Absolutely, couldn't put it better.
Beautiful, love it. Yeah, thank you, Adidev. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so who's going next? Does this answer the question that we had in the afternoon? Does it put perspective, context to what we were trying to discuss in the afternoon? Let the hands rise. Yeah, Madhava?
I never thought, Namaskar, Guruji, Namaskar all.
Namaskar.
I would have never expected that the investigation of the karmic play would give me so much room Yeah, give me so much room, so much space, especially with what's my life purpose, and am I happy with it? Am I happy with where I am right now? Do I really want to go? Do I really want to go abroad? Do I really want to go? You know my past, right? I've been in the army, I've been in NCO, and all of a sudden, I was not. And I was there with you. I still remember my first meeting with you and what the sentences you said to me, and getting all this energy awareness things. But the karmic play, as you vividly explained to me, because it was only to me, of course, how vividly you explained it to me, it gave me space, room, how do you call it, freedom. It has given me a lot, so I thank you for that. And I bow humbly for this karmic play, because I am where I am.
Yeah, thank you, Madhava.
I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. Your purpose is right where you are. Just like Adi Dev discussed, right where you are. And if you can feel it, like every time you pick up the guitar, you're living fully and masterfully in that moment. Can you be happy with that? If life brings more things to you, then you work with it. But can you be happy with where you are, who you are, and how you're progressing? So that's phenomenal. Thank you so much, Madhava. That's excellent contribution.
Thank you.
Flavia, you want to say something?
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Namaskar to all. You just inspired me that I have gifts and I have to use it to channel light. And I think that behind me are a lot of masters that they are working through me to help people through therapy.
Good, excellently. So you're finding your purpose. That's excellent.
Yes, because I do therapy with people and I saw how people change their lives.
Yeah, excellent.
And this is.
Yeah, thank you, Flavia. Thank you.
Give me a lot of happiness.
Yeah,
I'm here to help.
Yeah, keep it up because you found your life purpose. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, so let's continue our conversation on the subject. You all discuss in groups. I expect that the conversation would be more exciting. Energy, Raluca, can you see then how the possibility of a Romanian center can happen? How can it happen in the context of the karmic play?
I believe that if we feel in this moment that this is our the real thing that makes us happy.
But let's talk about you personally, right? Because you need someone in any group. You need someone who can have the vision and can communicate the vision and can change or can use a karmic play to make things happen. So that requires a very strong leader. Now, with an understanding of that, how can you see that a Romanian center can become a reality?
I see it. I see the center coming real because I want it. I feel that it is possible.
Right, but do you know what that means, right? Like you previously intimated or said, that it requires discipline.
Yes.
It requires sustained motivation. People must feel motivated.
Yes.
It requires members coming together with the same vision and passion. Do we have it in Romania?
Yes, we have. We have.
Right. The next thing will be the gathering of physical resources. Do you see that can happen?
Yes, I think it's possible.
Right. So then you are seeing the resources to make it happen. So maybe tomorrow in our conversation, when we talk about sustainable community, that we could develop a plan that can make it happen. Now, do you think it will happen in the city or it will happen in nature?
I think in nature.
Right. So that's the subject of tomorrow.
I'm all driven by the nature.
Right. So that's the subject of tomorrow. Because we're going to use Vrindavan as the possibility that we can co-create what I'm envisioning in Vrindavan. So can we do the same in Romania? Because I know Romania has beautiful nature. I've been through Romania, and I'm very much attracted by it. But I have to stay in Vrindavan for the moment. And Canada has the same. And I will talk to Surabhi just in a moment, because that was a vision of hers at some point, and vision also of my sister Mira. And but is it still possible that in Canada, with its beautiful nature, that something can still happen? What are the possibilities, right? Yeah. So it must be in a karmic play. The people need to come. The resources need to come. The energy needs to happen for discipline and sustained motivation. So if we have it in Romania, I'm tremendously excited about how we can attract it from the universe. Right? And I know if I asked Arpita, she would say the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure.
the passion is
We are
there.
the same.
There's so many Romanians with that same passion. So I feel very confident about it. And I look forward to the conversation tomorrow around that subject. Attracting a center in nature. Vrindavan.
Yes,
right?
because when you said Guruji about center, in my deepest heart level, yes, is Vrindavan. So I want to be there. But if my karma brings Vrindavan to Romania, it's okay.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
Problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Danaji. Surabhi, let's talk about this silent passion in your heart that you had before for a center of light. I don't know how much is it still there.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about what I said, adding context and dimension to the subject?
Yes, definitely. It does stay with me. I have to say that, because without that vision, I don't see what else would excite me.
Yeah.
So it has stayed in
That's
my heart.
nice.
And but I'm also pragmatic. But I
Good.
know I have grown since, and I think our group has grown. We've come deeper into the teachings and deeper into
So do you think?
being able to manifest in the light.
Do you think we can look into the future of the karmic play and see if there is a possibility of that happening, materializing, and is there a pathway to it? I think I'll be excited about talking about that, but it will have to happen tomorrow. Could there be a Vrindavan in Canada? Could it be a dream of the universe? Can we intercept that dream or attract that dream and make it happen?
Yeah, we have all the elements.
I think
the
so.
rest would be up to the universe.
I think so.
It's a divine play, right?
I think it's in the will of the universe, because we tried the Coburg experiment, right? Of course, that was a very tough one and couldn't happen. And it wasn't destined to happen, but it was destined to be an experience. But I think it's a possibility. I do, just like Romania. So we discuss that tomorrow.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah. I want to go to Shivaji. I know that dream lives in you as well. Are you there? Is Shivaji with us? Huh? No. Okay. I know that we can create something in Holland, because we have so many Blue Star members in Holland. I don't know how it will be, but I would like to also speak to that. And what is a possibility in Holland? Is it just a center? Is it what can it be? And we'll discuss that tomorrow as well, because I know I know the resources are there in Holland. The capabilities are there in Holland. Could we see the Karmic play making it happen in Holland as well? That's for tomorrow. But because that's also, of course, these are countries I visited, right? So I know the possibilities. And I'm thrilled whenever I'm there. What are your thoughts, Ramana? When you hear all of this, what are your thoughts?
Very exciting, Guru. It's just opening up the space more and more to see more.
Yeah, I know you're tied to my project, right? But here in Trinidad. But what do you see? What do you see?
Well, I see the dream coming through. Where we started in Blue Star, in 1998 of Toronto East Center. It just shows how much we've grown and to listen to everyone. As part of this bigger picture. And Vrindavan is the model.
All right, so I'm gonna leave that with you overnight, so you can dream a little bit about what the possibilities are. Is your fulfillment the Trinidad Vrindavan, or is it a fulfillment somewhere else?
Well, I can give you that answer right.
Is it a center? Is it a center in the U.S.?
No. Vrindavan is going to be our projection. Of course, whatever we do here, it's a growth. It's
an extension.
Exactly, but fully committed to Vrindavan.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're now at 3:59. But anybody would like to ask anything or say anything? Otherwise, we will take the conversation into tomorrow. How can we co-create centers in nature? So can we create a sustainable community that's an agricultural community that can be, we can look at the ecosystem, we can educate people, we can have healing happening there, we can have ashram happening there, and that is a powerful possibility already in Trinidad. Because I can see it happening, and that's why I'm spending a lot of time here, because I'm seeing it happening. And of course it requires a big driving force, and that's why I'm at the center of it, because I know being in the center of it will make it happen. And I know that this is not just for me, this is for all of us global. So this is a global Vrindavan center. So all of us can own it. But I know we can have an extension in different countries as well. So that's where we are. We can end the conversation with you, Sudhiti, because you're in a beautiful space in Virginia. And I know that you wish that the Guru was living in Virginia. Yeah, Sudhiti, you're the last voice. Yeah, unmute. There we are.
Are we good? Yes, great. I saw Lee there. That was interesting. I want to talk to you later. I was so inspired by our little group of sharing the light. And I know this is a little place where I am now. The center's not something, but I've just had my second truckload of wood chips. I'm starting to transform my little piece of property. People are already interested and looking. I like you pushing me to do the yoga, that I need to do more with body as nature. But just our little footprint on the earth can be an example.
All right,
that brings
so
life.
we'll talk about that tomorrow. That little project you have in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. So we have a segue into tomorrow. And anything you would like to say before I close with a prayer?
No, Guru. It's perfect.
Yeah. She says Om Purnamada. Yeah, so thank you, everybody, for a delightful conversation. And I'm looking forward to our tomorrow project, which would be environment and sustainable community. How do we create greater environmental awareness? And that is predicated on us also being totally aware that our body is an extension of nature. And how can we create the right ecological conditions in nature that our body can come alive in nature. So we'll talk about the Vrindavan vision and experience and its growth. And then we'll also talk about what are the possibilities in Romania, and what are the possibilities in Holland, and what are the possibilities in Hungary. Hopefully we'll have Shivaji then. But these are the places that are opening up. Shivaji is an architect, and Shivaji took me to the spaces in Romania where he wants to do something. And he has been very much motivated and impassioned about the Guru, and about serving the Guru, and about being the light. So I know that something can happen in Hungary as well. So, and of course I'm seeing the Virginia experience now with Suriti. And let's see what will happen there. Ramana will create a little center in his place, but he is taking up with my Vrindavan as well. And I know also Adidev will be the same. So we'll have a global center here that will involve all of you. But it would be nice to have these satellite centers as well in different parts of the world. And that's our contribution of the Blue Star to a changing world. So we continue this beautiful conversation tomorrow. Okay? So let's come together in a short prayer. One mind, peaceful mind, intuitive mind. One heart. Let's come into that nourishing center of the heart. One love. Breathe into the gut. And feel a stability it brings. And we close now with the prayer Sahana Bhavatu. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvinapadhi Tamastu, Ma Vidvisha Vahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we achieve strength together. May our knowledge be full of light. May we remain united beyond differences. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Excited about tomorrow. We look forward to next day of our conference. Namaskar, everybody.